Hello, Maurice. Hello, Maurice.
I think our producer makes us work out every time we start the show. So
Yeah, I need to do more exercise.
wow, such a beautiful background. What's the occasion, Sue? What's happening?
Wow.
Hi, Maureen Lam. Hi.
Is this a Valentine's special?
Valentine's special, isn't that last month? Hello,
Oh,
Sue.
it passed already.
Hello.
No wonder my wife got a bit disappointed.
Oh, by the way, yes, I know.
Mhm.
You know what day was yesterday, Sue?
8th of March,
Yes, what day is it?
3 days after my birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Sue.
Thank you.
So,
Anything else special?
it is International Women's Day, Sue. And today is our Women's Day.
Hold on a minute, Kitti. Before you continue, I just have a question. Since this is the International Women's Day special, right? Shouldn't be I resting and leaving you to host the show for tonight?
What do you mean resting, Sue?
Well, as a man, right, it seems this had nothing to do with me. In my past job, all men are excluded from it. And maybe you are from the top management kind of man. So it's like, other than that, my message is like, man, step back, go away, don't touch my food, don't touch our gift. Oh, so I just go aside.
Well, before I answer you, let me just say, hi, Vinci.
Hello, Vinci.
Well, okay. I don't know what was the context of that celebration that you experienced for people or the women in your office. As far as I'm concerned, it's never about just celebrating women and excluding men. It is always the whole idea of inclusiveness, right? As far as I know, internationally, there is International Women's Day, there's International Men's Day, right? Celebrating your strength, celebrating our strength, but it's not excluding, it's inclusive, okay? Honest truth, ask yourself this, really, can you live your life without men, right? I'm not saying that we need men, but I'm saying that they are good entertainment.
Thank you. I will take that as a compliment. Thank you very much.
I'm kidding. But it is never really about gender.
I would say,
Yeah.
maybe at this century, I would take it as gender anymore. I mean, previous century, 200, 300, 500 years ago, maybe. Now maybe we should take as a men and women should be working like as a team, right? We work together to achieve some things.
Absolutely. Before that, I'm very distracted. Hi, Julia. Hi, Gurdeep. Oh my God, I'm so
Julia,
excited. Yes, absolutely. That's the whole point. It's about team. It's about you and I, right? It's just that, yes, some of us identify as women, some of us identify as men, some of us identify as something else, right?
Yeah.
There is this pronoun called they, them, and other pronouns, right? Whichever it is, to me, it's just another excuse for celebration of life.
Yeah. But honest truth, because of this show, the special, I know the title earlier. I did some research on last week on what is International Women's Day. Honest truth, this is my first time doing that because I was being excluded from that for years, So, when I try to understand more about this event, I found it's actually very meaningful. And we as a man actually can contribute a lot. It's not say contribute to the woman, but work together with a woman as a team to grow together. Rather than we are like setting up something like, okay, this is your Women's Day, this is the man thing, that kind of thing. It's like slightly different. It's totally different to me. I look at it right now. Actually, it's asking for not a part of the inclusivity that we're promoting. We're also talking about we support each other on the growth, right?
Absolutely. Hi, Jonathan. Thank you so much. Right? Yeah, you see, to me, right, maybe ancient, historically, right? I may not be as well read in this, but to me, maybe historically, there is certain tasks that is better performed by certain gender, right? But in today's world, it's almost no longer relevant.
I like to say this to my friend, a lot of tasks, you all need this, our strength to do it. But right now, you know what happened? What happened to this, you know?
I don't know. What?
It's replaced by machine. It's your tons of robotics outside. So what is this for?
Absolutely, right? So there's a lot of different ways and different things that is occurring in the 21st century.
Yes.
Right? So today, which brings us to today, because we're going to have a lot of conversation about, you know, maybe yes, certain ancient programming or belief system is still brought up to today, but there's also a lot of evolution that's taken place. So today we're going to have...
Sounds very interesting for tonight. We have some very special guests for tonight.
Yes, absolutely.
Who
That's
is
where I
he
was
or
getting
her?
to. Right, before I answer you that, right, we're going to be having a heart-to-heart conversation about, you know, certain things that we've been through. Certain things that we thrive through, right? And see that it is not exclusive, it's always been inclusive. Yeah. And tonight is a bit different. For those of you who have seen us before, thank you for coming back. Welcome back. Hi, Chong Lee. For those of you who are new, welcome to our channel. Tonight, we're going to shift gear a little bit. It is no longer Sue and I interviewing people, right? Tonight, the people that we have on board, they are amazing, amazing ladies and women that we have brought in to share what they've been through. What are the things that they have thrived through and what are they actually standing for? As far as I know, one part of standing for is standing for inclusiveness instead of exclusiveness. Yeah, even Sue and I are going to be sharing some parts of our stories, our experiences. So if you have some stories that can relate, share it with us in the comment, whether you're on Facebook, on YouTube. We are monitoring. We will see you, okay? So come on and share with us, right? Now, for our beautiful guests, who are they, Sue?
Oh, who are they? I know there's the three very beautiful ladies. One from Subang, one from KL, right? The other one, wow, very far.
One from Putrajaya.
One from Putrajaya, sorry.
one from Putrajaya. I think one from
Subang, right?
Bukit Jalil.
Not Subang.
I know.
But I know the furthest one is from Germany.
Germany?
Yes.
I thought Denmark.
Oh, she's in Germany right now. No, she's so nice and kind enough. She called in from Germany even she's in her holiday, just to support us, support this topic.
Yeah, and to celebrate today with us, right? That is why no off for you, Sue.
Oh, I thought I makan kacang.
No, you're gonna stay here. We're gonna share. Yeah. Now, our first guest is an amazing coach and entrepreneur. Her name is Sabariah Jusoh. You probably have seen her in our first show, right? She came with her daughter and son, and just how she brought up her children, homeschooling them, sharing with them about the importance of, you know, financial intelligence, saving, budgeting. Children, financially steady, they are very independent. There's a lot of amazing insights that she shared with us during the first show.
Yes.
Right? What about Denise?
Denise is actually a Malaysian. She was a Malaysian. So she migrated to Denmark. She was, I think she had I would think as a lot of exposure in the foreign countries. She moved to, I think she studied in Australia after that, then worked in Singapore and ended up in Europe. And she was a professional tester. And now she's a professional life coach, which helping out people to fighting their life passions, whatever she can support on others. So,
yep. And I think she shared about building certain habits, supportive habits that's going to move us forward, right?
Yes. There was one of the topics she's talking about the good and supportive and unsupportive habit that towards the wealth.
Yep.
Yeah.
And our third guest, it's our most recent guest, which is Azah Yazmin, who is a beautiful, beautiful relationship counselor. Honest truth, given all that I have been through in life, given all that I've learned from the masters that I've learned from, up till today, she still is teaching me something, right? She's still sharing insights with me, especially about relationship, not just with ourselves. Not just with our partner, but also with ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh
I agree.
God.
You know what happens last month after we have an interview with her?
What?
So now before I talk to my wife, sometimes I will think, Or after I talk to her, is my sentence supportive in this manner? Supporting the relationship or not? Make me into some thinking sometimes. The choice of word, whether I'm building for the success for our relationship or not, which is a good experience, I would say.
Right? So three amazing women who's here, who's gonna share, and no mask today, everything unveiled. We're gonna be open. We may even be vulnerable, which is okay, right?
Yeah,
so come on and share this journey with us as we welcome Azah, Sabah, and Denise.
Hello.
Okay. Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
How are you?
How are you? Yes.
Yeah, they all look very excited.
Yes, me too. Okay, let's go for Sabah. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. I'm great. Actually, so happy to hear what you and Sue have been sharing, And thank you for that kind introduction. I'm very, very happy to be with all of you on this platform, Wisdom of West. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you.
And happy celebration of International Women's Day to everyone. Like you said, that and inclusive, beautiful women and beautiful men.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Beautiful men too. Yeah.
I just got to respond to this very quickly. Yes, Brenda, you are always seen. What about Azah? How's life treating you since the last show, Che?
Life is treating me fine. I got some new clients, helping more people, and wonderful to hear that, what I share from my heart and from my experience also has a spillover effect on both of you, which is amazing. That's kind of my love and my journey or my legacy that I'd like to leave behind.
Okay, thank you. How about you?
Happy to see you that you're having like a more connective relationship and communication with your wife. Amazing. Well done. Good job.
Okay, thank you. Thank you back to Denise. How are you? Denise, long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yes.
Really happy to be back. Really happy. I'm happy to hear, the habit thing is still going on. Yeah, that's great. It's fantastic.
Habit will never change. Oh, no, habit will always stay. Not say never change. We change to something different, right?
Yeah.
Saying habit can never change to coaches and counselor is not the best idea.
Yes. I used the wrong word. That's why I rectify it immediately.
Well catch. Good catch.
Yeah. So, ladies, right? So once again, thank you for saying yes to coming here and actually saying yes with courage, right? Especially knowing that we're gonna go live today and the conversations that we're gonna have is all about certain things that you've been through, right? In life, how do you thrive through that? And how do you still include, right, people across gender, right, include those different relationships in your life despite whatever challenges that you've been through, right? So I wanted to say upfront, thank you so much for your courage and your willingness to be here to share. Thank you. Right? No. Ready to kickstart? We're gonna go heart to heart as we said today. Ready?
Make me feel nervous.
Then we're gonna start with yes. No, I'm kidding. Right? So let's kick off today with something simple, right? Let's begin with what is it that you're celebrating about you, your life right now, right? Or even as a woman, right? Right now, in comparison to the past, what are you celebrating right now in your life?
God, that's a deep question. Let the other two answer.
Yes.
I would like to about it in a minute.
Yeah, I would like to take on, because not yesterday, but then a day before, that means 2 days ago, I did actually reflect because I know that about this. I start having this wishes on celebrating this International Women's Day, and I remember 10 or 11 years ago, I was actually I was actually in a lowest point in my life. Yeah, I lost my business. I had car accident.
Oh dear.
I had wheelchair bound for 3 months, and I got cheated actually in my business, and I just had that time 40 ringgit in my bank account.
Nice, right?
Yeah. So much changes in my life after that 11 years. You know where I am today. So much changes, so much in terms of I kick back in my business. I just focus on my coaching and training business right now. And I just declare actually for this year, I'm on semi-retired. I was a mother. I am a mother with 5 children and 1 grandson. You know, so 2 of them got married already. So it's empty nest in my house right now. Yeah, and last couple of years, you know, I'm traveling a lot globally, doing what I love to do. So yeah, a lot of changes and a lot of things happen for the past 11 years, and a lot of success actually. And
Okay.
my thing, just one for the audience, for the viewers, is this: keep moving forward wherever you are at the lowest point in your life right now. And the thing is, keep counting your blessing, and your blessing will get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Beautiful, Sabah. Thank you so much. What about Azah or Denise? What are you celebrating in life?
I think I'll go.
Azah is pointing to Denise.
Yeah. Reflecting back, I moved a lot for quite a few countries, and I could see cross-cultural differences, how I was being brought up. I was brought up in a Chinese family, and how I see figure of authority changed for these many years after I changed moved to different countries. It's fascinating for me to reflect now that, oh, currently I see more and more role models in women, and now I'm being all of you, like they are all my role models. So the gender part has shifted a bit, and figure of authority, and of course, is ranking authority, like position in a company. For me, is like, oh, wait a minute, ladies are in power too. Totally different from how I was brought up. So that was very revealing, and how I respect and have gratitude, like what Sabah had just mentioned. So it's like, this has been changing. And what's the conversation we have with young children or young people? That's how I have been reflecting so far. One thing I can take away definitely is we are all human beings.
Yes.
So, yeah, exactly, right? We're all human beings surviving on this rock, near the sun. So yeah, that's how I've been reflecting so far.
Okay.
Nice, thank
you. Know what
you.
Next? Sabah, Denise,
Yes.
point to your side. point. Azah.
Gosh, reflecting. Gosh, there's so many facets of my life that I have reflected on, especially for the last 10, maybe 5 years. And I think Sabah and Denise are looking outside of the changes outside that's happening outside of them. For me, the changes were within me, especially the last few. And I'm also thinking about one of the things that I reflected on was my own personal boundaries, and where my boundaries are for others, and teaching others where my boundaries are and how to treat me. So as I was listening to Sabah and Denise, I was thinking, like, where do I want to, yes, it's a vulnerable session, but how much vulnerability do I want to share with you? Because there's so many changes within me that I have. But I think one of the things that I would like to share comfortably, and not being, because everything else feels a little bit too vulnerable for me. So here I am teaching people how to put boundaries down for yourself.
Yep.
So one of the things I'd like to do share is I'm a third culture kid, or a TCK, which means that I was brought up outside of my passport country, and in my formative years, so right from 4th right up to 19. So identifying with different cultures, I have both. Actually, I'm not. Usually, third culture kids are considered culturally homeless, so we don't identify with anything else. So that was so the question of who am I in the whole scheme of things? Who am I in the world? Because in one culture, I'll put a mask on that's genuine, warm, and loving, that fits this culture. But when I go back to Malaysia, there's some values that just don't mix and just don't, I remember somebody was in university, somebody was going, oh my God, somebody was kissing in the park. And I'm like, I couldn't fathom what that meant. But that in a collective culture and in Eastern culture, that's not a good thing to do, apparently. Yeah. So I had to learn that. Whereas over in the UK, where I was brought up, that was every day. You see people kissing, hugging, holding hands, walking. It doesn't matter what age you are. So so who am I in the world? Who am I? How do I place myself? So I do have a third culture kid counselor that I see for the last 3-4 years, I think, right now, just to find out who I am and really being centered. And today I meet you as I am. I meet you full-heartedly. I meet you with a lot of acceptance of myself, and that self-acceptance is such a big journey. And I meet you here, and I meet you where you are as well.
Beautiful, right? This is where it is a very good lead into the next part, right? I'm gonna do this for a short while, okay, Sue? See, I could absolutely relate what the three of you are saying, right? The changes that's occurring, the different cultures, the different practices that occurs, right? Now, talking about coming as who you are, I believe the three of you have been through quite a fair bit of things to come to who you are. Because if you don't mind me, just a quick sharing, I feel that up till today, there will still be funny labels about me. There are still when I was young, I was never too girly. I was too boyish and too rough for a girl, right? And then when I grew up, I know I've always been a rebellious. They label as rebellious to me is I want things to be done certain way because I'm determined. Right? Then I was labeled as, all these different things like bitchy, rough, tomboyish, and things like that. And I went through a whole bunch of identity crisis, even to the extent of questioning, like, really? Do I really have to be a certain way just because I embrace, no, I'm born with a woman's body? Do I really have to be a certain way? Right? So maybe that's a good leeway to see that, in your area, right? What are the things that you have been through and like this kind of stereotype to needing to be a certain way, especially if it's labeled under a certain gender? And how do you break through that, right? Like for me, it took me a lot of inner work. I'm gonna be the first one to say I've been to a lot of different therapies, counseling, healing work. I even go and learn some myself, right? Just to come back to like, you know what? They can label whatever they want to label, but I am me. I'm not going to be like, girly girl. I love being just rough and just being direct. So it took me quite a fair bit to get to where I am. Right? What about you?
Yeah, I think for me, 2 years ago, if you asked me, let's go to a live show, I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? So I'm always been labeled like, structured, composed.
Hang on, Denise. Can I put a request? Sorry, producer. Maybe this part we just put all three so that we can see all three responses and they can just jump in so that we can interact. Yeah? Thank you. Yeah. Yes, sorry, Denise. Continue.
Great. Now I really feel everyone is in the same room. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, exactly. So I was telling her how I was labeled when I was a kid. It's like shy, quiet, obedient. You know the labels that I grew up in a Chinese family. And it's very important to be obedient. Very important, especially you're born a girl. You're sitting a certain way. You're speaking a certain way. You're eating a certain way. So it was just like super recently. It's like, okay, you're going to a live show. You're going to be yourself. You're going to be vulnerable. You can just like have a casual chat. I'm like, uh-oh, that ain't gonna happen. so even though I moved to different cities and I go through different kind of education, the labels will still creep up, and it's a constant like it's an impermanence I'm embracing, right? From moment to moment, whether you're at workplace, especially with authoritative male superior or somebody, it's like, oh, they are just wearing a funny hat. They're just human beings. That kind of scenario. So that's what I got when I was listening to your sharing.
Oh, Denise, I so can really relate to what you said and also what Kitti experienced. Because the thing that I hate most when I was a little girl, I felt like I was what do you call it? Ugly duckling.
Oh.
That's who I was. You know, ugly duckling in the family. Yeah, because I was dark. I mean, that darker complexion compared to the others. So I was labeled that. I had this story that always, that old script that keep replaying, you know, that I'm not beautiful. I was not beautiful. I was not beautiful. Yeah, and it's eating me inside. So really, I think that like Kitti, I went through a lot of healing, a lot of inner work that at times I doubt myself whether it worked. How come is this keep showing up, you know? Yeah, until I think that, you know, I look at my beautiful children and somebody said to me, these are, they look like angels, you know? And you must be proud that they come from you, your wombs. Yes. So it's like, wow. And then I thought that, you know, like, wow, God has shown me around, you know, that you're not just, I mean, to, I must, no one actually can validate whether I'm beautiful or not beautiful, you know, because of my skin color or whatever. I must take that ownership myself.
Yeah.
That I am beautiful.
Yeah.
The way
Absolutely.
I am and the way I am not.
Yeah.
It's very interesting how our childhood narrative that was imposed on us by our caretakers. So our caretakers could be mom, dad, grandparents, older sister, and all that. How in their genuine love for you in certain cases, not all families are like this, the genuine love for you and for your own safety, they provide you with their own narratives that they were brought up with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know, in a Chinese family, you have to be this, and in this family, I'm not fair enough. I'm too dark. It's too dark, too light, too this, too that, you know.
It's never ending.
And it's never ending. You know. In the honest and genuine belief that we are doing right by you, that we are bringing you up in a safe environment. Unbeknownst to everybody that, you know, it is very disconnecting, some of these values, and not only disconnecting in a relationship, but it disconnects us with our genuine self. Right. So in the end of the day, when we're growing up and you know, we're an adult, we're a mother, we're a sister, an elder sister, and all that, we kind of figure out where do we place ourselves? How do we be? Yeah. Because we're human beings, we're not human doings.
You are so aligned, you know.
Right? Right? Because all these narratives are all about, you have to be this, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to be in this little, you know, like that. But growing up, you know, whatever your story is, that connectedness between your caretaker and yourself is very paramount, you know. So that connectedness feels emotional safety. And sorry, that's me reminding myself to drink. Sorry about that.
Good one. Self-care 101.
Yeah. So coming back, it's quite interesting because even in my story, which I'm going to put a little bit of boundaries because I'm still working on myself, right? That I had all these narratives. I had to be this and I had to be that. I was the only girl in the family. Out of all the cousins, my cousins told me this. I'm the most beautiful out of all the female cousins, and I'm like, why? How does that connect me? How does that serve me as a person, as a human being?
Yeah.
So even though they are trying to connect you, yeah, you're so beautiful, you're so this, you're so that, you're so da-da-da, it's that connectedness is missing in relationships, I feel. And so we're taught to be other than self.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so we spend our lifetime, our adult life, to try and find ourselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
And fit in. I think
fit
it's
in.
one of those things. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what I figured out I'm going to save you a lot of money and a lot of time, and a lot of counseling sessions, is journey towards yourself, journey towards self-acceptance, like Sabah said, and understanding yourself. And what I do when I go in my counseling session, I was saying like, oh, I love that about me.
Yeah.
I love that I don't have shame. That shame was placed on me, but I don't receive it as shame. I receive it as, okay, what am I supposed to do to make me better and healthier and centered? So I love that about me. What about you? What about you I'm going to leave this question out there. What about you that you want to know about yourself? Because if I say, who are you? I'm not asking whether you're a sister, you're a mother, you're a coach, or a this or that. I'm asking who you are.
Yeah. As a human.
That's the human side. So I'm still on that journey. If you buy me some tea at or something, I will share with you. But right now, I think I'll put some boundaries around here. I'm not ready to share about that. But yes, that's the journey I went to, about self-acceptance. And then people will say, genuine self, I'm hearing, right?
Yeah.
No.
But put the spotlight on you. Who's your genuine self?
Yeah.
It's a hard answer. It's a hard answer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this don't just occur to us, right? This whole lack of boundary thing or this label, it's not a gender-specific thing.
Yeah, I just want to say just now what I noticed by listening from your sharing, right? Actually, I don't feel there's a difference between men's and women's during that scenario. Actually, we also live under the label. I mean, I've been labeled as a fat boy. Until right now, people still talking, you're very fat, you're overweight, whatever. Then after that, sometimes I even think as a man, I think same as a woman, we are being labeled or being pushed to go to the something that structure. Okay, this is how a man supposed to be. This is how a man supposed to react, to behave. So when we have anything we feel vulnerable, right, we have to hide it ourselves. Because I always hear men won't cry, men don't cry. Right? That was we are growing up with. So we are being shaped to hide our emotion a lot of time. I feel now I bit better, like you said, I have a search on myself where I'm more willing to express myself, sharing myself. Last time I would just keep myself up. Okay, so there's a problem, just quietly keep it. Okay, get a 1 or 2 parties, see how to solve it, if not, just see whether can slip under the carpet or not. Pretend nothing, so because I'm the man. Right, but we still try to live under the label, or we want to be labeled something we think good should be the society want us to be, which may not be supportive, right? Even to men or women, right? Because honestly, if I want to support women, right, sometimes also very would it be labeled, why you always group with girls, not having much friend of men? Perhaps that kind of worry when you're young,
Yep. Right.
So I love these quotes, you can only be you because everyone else is dated.
Nice one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you can
That's a
only
good
be
one.
you because everyone else is dated.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Those of you who are tuning in, we're not saying that it is anybody's fault, right? It is just really simply being aware that, who our caretaker, as Azah said, right, could be our parents or whoever who raised us, are doing out of love. the best that they know how, right? And it is really no one's fault, because all these are just ways that we learn how to, bring up and to, ultimately, I think it is creating a culture of belonging, right? A sense of inclusiveness. To me, the only misperception part is that it must be the same for everyone, instead of celebrating the differences, right? And letting go of those labels. Yeah. All right. So as we continue this conversation, right? Let's just quickly jump to some food for thought, something for you to ponder upon by these three beautiful ladies, right? So we're going to look at the first thing to ponder about for you, and then we're going to continue the conversation. Okay? That's a good lead-in for the next one.
Wow. Give a theme with your relationship, with your money.
Yeah, just now was relationship with ourselves, right? Ultimately finding who we are. Now this one is relationship with money. Really? What is this about, Sabah?
Yeah, I think that I don't know how many people actually have ever asked this question. What's your theme, your relationship with money? Really, really, really. Because I also do the healing work with regard this, like people who have a struggle with money, financial wealth, So, yeah, so among the common theme, you can check in with yourself. Is that your theme in relationship with regard to money? Your relationship with money is lack, not enough. So no matter how much money you make, it's always not enough. Or it's about your theme is jealousy. Jealousy.
Wow, yes.
Or greedy.
Yes.
Yeah, greedy.
Good one.
Or unhappiness. Unhappy, it's always unhappy. Especially when money out. Money out, your theme is money out, is always being unhappy. No, take note of this, every dollar or every ringgit has its own responsibility.
Nice.
Every dollar or every ringgit has its own responsibility.
So let's see if there's any difference, okay? Right? Because at the end of the day, to me, it's really, gender is just a gender. All these things that we're talking about, it's beyond gender. So let's see if this proves the point, right? Sabah, what's your relationship with money?
Mine, happiness, gratitude.
Awesome. What's yours, Azah?
Ow.
Ouch. Okay.
How do I manage?
How
That was
do
my
you manage?
biggest thing.
Okay.
Coming in and then like, now what do I do with it? And how did it leave?
I know, right? That's the question, right? Always. No. Denise.
Mine sometimes switch between oops and the other end is like, oh great, fantastic. It's like it's switch between surprises. It's just different ends.
I love that. That's so cute.
It's like oops.
I did it again.
What about you, Siu?
I would say the previous me, I was living with the theme of the lack. Currently, I'm more on the gratitude side of it. So I feel even more lighter over here when we feel gratitude about the money. Even sometimes with pressure also, you don't feel much pressure sometimes. It's just like you feel, okay, gratitude. I got this to cover this, you will feel happy about that. And let me to add in one more story. I just hear from a friend about a month ago. She told me, actually, she told me, I never think about money a lot. I never need to worry about money. I was thinking, I know her income is okay, but not from the like wealthy family. Then because she said, I always have a belief since young, right? Don't need to worry, just do my part of it. I spend what I need to spend. The money will come in after I spend whatever I need to spend. He said for past 30, 40 years, right? Actually, I never have to worry about money at all. It's not from someone or say someone is a very good investor or whatever. She's just a normal working person, something like that. It's a theme that's she made me wow.
Yeah, that's a theme actually that runs your money life. Yeah, your financial well-being.
Yeah.
I love that.
How about you?
Mine is
I need to
fun.
reflect on that again.
It is fun it is also
amazing.
fun when it circulates because I have fun enjoying those things. Right? Now, okay, so we have established the theme really is not about gender, right? Whichever it is, it's just really exclusively our relationship with money, right? But I just wanted to have a look at this point where, you know, there's a certain expectation of, you know, women with money, men with money, and to a certain extent, I feel that because of that expectation, the segregation occurs. Right? It unconsciously promotes that kind of gender segregation when it isn't. Right? So what are your experience of this? The expectation on you as a woman in regards to money, the expectation on you as a man in regards of money.
Expectation of me, I still remember because I went to state alone, one person, but then I got married and pregnant and gave birth, my first one in US. So I came back 3. So when I was in the state, so it's multiply somehow. Right? So back to the question. So when I was in the States, my mom went there when I delivered my baby, and I still remember. I remember this what she said to me. You know, her expectation, because I considered the eldest in the family. So her expectation is I already graduated 2 years, but then did not work. You know, so she expect me to come back quickly and start working or find a job there. You know, so she's so concerned about that. And then when I start my career life, and when I came back, first as a lecturer in the university, so the expectation was I went to teach. I have my career. I grow my career, but also I need to perform. You know, take care of the household, take care of the families, you know, things like that. Until I said this to myself that it can't be like this, you know, because I'm very, I think my career very, what do you call it, I'm focused on my career, which I fly every year overseas to present paper and all that, you know. You will hear a lot more on my story, crazy story, outrageously crazy. Yeah, things like I just delivered my baby. 4 hours later, I opened my laptop and then type my research. Yeah, type my paper to send overseas. 4 hours just after giving birth, you know. So, but anyway, so that is the expectation. That is the expectation in the family, in the society. But I think that I've shifted. But then for those that I encounter, my coaching clients, there are many more people out there actually that still live with that in that expectations.
Yeah, that's for sure. And there was a period of my time also I take some time off, and then there's no stable, like for my family and everyone around me, it's like you must have stable income, monthly money coming in. And I remember that it's like, how are you going to do this without the stability? I'm like, without having anxiety, my anxiety just go up just by the hearing it. It's like, and then like they just love me, okay? They just love me because worry is like a basic connection to people. It's like, oh, I love you, that's why I worry about you. So now, yeah, that was the expectation. It's like, hey, stable income, must be present no matter where you are, how you are, however you want to live your life. And then I also noticed that in a career perspective, like how would I be compared with my colleague who's doing the same job, or someone else doing the same job, between men and women and everything in between, everybody in between, right?
Yeah.
So that was also a money kind of conversation coming in. Slowly I start to realize, start to read out. It's like, oh, expectation, like pension wise, when I start to calculate, it's like, oh, on average, men have more pension than women. Just out of just like that. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? so I went into studies like, what's going on with this pension thing? So I started to see, salary disparity and how many years people were in the workforce and stuff. So it's like, that was, for me, it's like expectation. I'm supposed to be on par. Yes, supposed to be, should be, and must be, all the different nuances come in. Yeah, that's how I've been seeing it as for now.
I have
Before we get to Azah, right?
But okay.
I just wanted to say this, right? This sounds like there's quite a growth, right, in a conversation about women and money, right? In the past, it's really about like, get married, someone rich, they'll take care of you and things like that. But now it becomes a bit more tricky. I don't know how to say that, right? But because there's this whole expectation, which is going to lead to Azah, is very well for yours, right? There's a balance that is needed between like, now you have to earn as much as the man, right? It's like, why are you comparing like that, right? The other thing is that, you're also expected to be like the best wife, the best mother, the best sister, the best daughter, and
the
balance.
Best tuition teacher.
Right? And it's just funny how this just keeps piling on. It's not just money, it also affects, us balancing relationship and things like that. Don't you think so?
I think it does. I think my family values are a little bit different. I grew up with my parents. I mean, one was a teacher and the other one was a businessman. So we're not from a a lot of people think, oh, you're rich. I'm like, no, we're not. We are comfortable, mom teacher, and eventually she became a lecturer, and dad did what dad did. And the theme for our family is study, do well, we'll worry about the finances.
Wow.
And even though we were able to apply for all these, government scholarships, blah, 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 my parents said, we are in a much better place than other people, so we're not going to apply for that. So we never did. I never did, So no GPA, no all those other stuff. I didn't. And even though we were struggling, mom was like selling, pinggan mangkok last time, with the flour. Yeah. So, we were like that. We were that sort of a family, and they would go out and find. They said, "Don't worry, we will find the money. What do you need? We'll find the money." What did that? So my parents worked hard for us, all three of us, and all we need, and all that was drummed in us was education. Just make sure that you are, a good student. I never was. And then later on in life, I think when I started working, I wanted to be self-sufficient, because the theme that was drummed into all three of us, I have two brothers, was to, as parents, you don't have to come back and take care of us. So they were breaking the mold right here. Mom worked for the government, so she's got a pension. They've done their financial whatever. They've got a house. It's fully paid. Everything was done, and they did it slowly, and and didn't disturb anybody. Didn't borrow. Just slowly built up their wealth. And they said, you do your finances. If you still need us, no matter how old you are, if we do have it, we will help you. you know. So, but please don't come back to us and, you know, when you're older and all that, just try to succeed first, you know, and make your money first, you know. So that was the thing that was pushing us. And so when I gave my mom some extra money after, you know, paying everything, I think I gave her about 1,000 ringgit, and she cried. She was like, wow, you know, it was the first of her child to work and then give her money back, and then, you know, and all that. So she really like, oh my God, it was, I don't know what was happening to Sabah. I'm not a mother, so I don't know what was going on with her, but she was so crying, you know. Yeah. So I've not given her like monthly income, and she says she doesn't want it. Go and give it to my chuchu, or, you know, go and give it to the, you know, my parents are good, you know, they're not like wealthy beyond means and go, no, they are comfortable, you know, they're very comfortable.
Azah, I am in the same shoes as your parents.
Right.
You are the representation of my children right now. How nice I hear it. Because that's the feeling, exact feeling that I got when my daughter, my son, you know, my daughters gave me money. Yeah.
Not because we need to pay you back. It's just, you know, a gift.
We never, really.
Gift,
They don't expect anything from us financially or whatever, you know. But since I was the first to work out of my 3 siblings, this is the how theme. How do you manage your money? I had no idea. How do you invest? I had no idea. There was no, like, now you have a lot of workshops here and there and everywhere to give. At my time, when I graduated, I had nobody was telling me anything. Nobody was teaching me. Even, you know, I went to dad, so, you know, you just put in your ears. And I'm like, okay. And then, you know, and all those financial literacy wasn't around at my time, during my time. So it was really hard. But I did somehow just manage to put away money. And I had a lot of money, which I didn't tell my parents. But they don't.
Yeah.
But
they won't watch Facebook live show anyway.
But if I were to share, and I think this is something I think I would like to share, that when my brother wanted to go to medical school, there was not enough money for the first year for his fees. So I took out my savings and gave it to him. And then
what a contribution.
And then my big brother was doing his PhD. There was some financial thing, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, they're my brothers. I mean, who else would I give it to? You know? And I didn't expect anything back. And that's what I learned from my grandfather, to give, but not expect anything back. So I just gave willingly. And, you know, I was young, so I can just fill it, my savings up again. It's fine. And it's filled. Twice, 3 times.
Doesn't sound like mine, you know. My mom has always brought me up, money, just keep saving. Make, save. Yes. Mommy, if you're listening to this, don't ask, okay?
I feel like it's like a confirmation of a kind of like Chinese belief, like all those women normally very good in saving money. So they get money, they save. They get money, they save.
Oh yeah. One of the things, the theme that was lacking,
actually,
I feel.
Financial literacy point of view, right? I mean, traditionally, we have all this education available, right? I really feel women do better than men, you know.
Still, I agree that women actually very good at saving money. But this is the thing about women. They do not, most that I know, they do not save for themselves. Yes. They save for others.
Yes, children, husband,
my God,
especially the children, their parents-in-law, even though their in-laws' family, but everyone except themselves.
I just wanted to say, I know a lot of men who save better than I do.
I feel like financial literacy now, maybe, you know, with all the workshops have come up and leveled out the playing field for all genders. Right now.
We're very fortunate at this time. It's really, really privileged. I actually learned investing from male friends because they have been reading a lot more. They've been exposed to a lot more. I'm kind of like a follower. It's like, oh, you're doing that? all right, why? It's just like, tell me more. Tell me more.
Oh, they like to share with you, is it? That's great. Some men don't. They get very threatened by asking these questions.
Oh yeah.
Sabah, yes.
Sabah also can.
Yeah. Very passionate actually about supporting people to have a breakthrough in their finance.
Yeah.
And
yes. I think I had a break. You remember I said my theme was how when the money comes in, what do you do?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that you had to pay yourself first at that time.
Yep.
Right? I didn't know. So I just paid all my bills and then so how do you it was until I learned financial literacy and really sat down and crunched the numbers. And I was having the same income. And then I realized after that workshop, I said, my God, I've wasted so much money. Can you imagine? My God, that could have gone in some investment here and there. Oh my God. And then
I have a story to share. My first year, sorry, go ahead.
So after I found out financial literacy, 5 years later, I recalculated that right now at this level, if I want to take a break for 2 years and maintain my lifestyle, I can.
Exactly.
That is financial literacy.
That was the best. That was the best. One of the best advice I got. My first year working in Singapore was I got a really, really good mentor, and he just said, "Do you have 6 months cash in your bank account?" I was like, "No." What?
What do you mean 6 months?
Yeah, what do you mean 6 months? I was living alone, working in Singapore, and it's like, do that, and then we talk. Okay. That was the best advice I've ever gotten. And then now I'm like,
one of my mentor and advisor.
Anyway, this pay yourself first since young to my children. Yeah, they have their pocket money. Yeah, and then before they go to school, they save the money for themselves first. They pay themselves first. And then the conversation in the car when I fetch them is always like, who you make it richer today? Is yourself or makcik canteen?
Nice. That's a great question.
Wow.
Okay, hang on because I want to speed this very quickly up, right? Sorry, do you know that it's 9:30? We're going to extend, okay, viewers? Continue sharing with us, right? What's your experience in this? Oh my God. Sue, what was the expectation around money for you?
Honestly, I don't think my parents put a lot of high expectation for me on the money. It's more like the expectation like having a repeated path of my life. Only like, okay, go school, study, come back, get your diploma, get your degree, we support you. Then go to work, get married, get a good job, get your promotion, get your baby. Then until a certain stage, I feel, am I going to run with this script? Which I can see the ends for long already, which means if I continue to run the same storyline, it's going to be, okay, continue, save some money, do some investment, retire, hope the company give you some retirement fund, hope you're saving enough, then, okay, hope your children grow up well, hope they study well, hope they get a job, hope they get married, hope they get a children. I'm thinking, actually, it's a bit boring, right, this kind of script in life. Why not making a different and doing something different, right? You say expectation to me on the money is just like typical as a man, like there's just expectation, okay, you bring money home, you support your family, that kind of expectation. They don't expect like very high or very low kind of thing. You just have to be like survive. You're able to survive. The best part is you don't come back home and ask.
Sue, I got a suggestion.
Yes.
You want something new and exciting?
Yes.
My bank account got a lot of space.
Mine too.
Just move some over. Fill up the space. Fill up the
space.
Okay, cool. Right, so it's pretty much like, really, I'm not hearing it's a gender-based thing anymore, right? Yes, the conversation has evolved, right? But still back to this kind of things, right? This whole expectation thing may not be the best supportive, especially in finding ourselves, right? Yeah. So cool. Let's quickly look at the next reflection question. This time is by Azah, and then we come back, have a quick conversation, then we're gonna say bye-bye. Okay, so next one, Azah. Cool. Azah, what does that mean? Why don't you share with us so that we can talk about this?
Well, we've discussed on, narrative as a child and how it affects us in our present day. Even the money narrative as a child and how it affects us present day, and how we have our relationship with it and with the person around it. So how has this information, as you reflected on your story, how does your narrative as a child affect your present day? And how does your narrative, your financial narrative or your financial being affect you today? And what changes would you like to see? And I think, and if you're brave enough, who would you like to ask help from?
Oh, yeah.
Who would you like to ask what?
Help from.
That's
Okay,
a
very quiet
good
moment.
question.
Yeah. Reflecting right away.
Yeah, I'm like,
I have that effect on people. Sorry.
That's a superpower.
It's my part of my training. So. Pick one thing in your life. You don't have to. You don't have. Usually, when I talk with friends, and I'm making them reflect like this, and I'll go, first of all, I'll go like, don't tell me. Just pick one thing in your life that has informed your behavior and your relationships today. Just pick one.
nice.
See, you see, everybody's contemplative. Like,
Yeah, I'm ready. Like,
yeah. What came to my mind was a conversation with my boyfriend. We're living together, and they were like, "Am I earning enough for the household in our relationship to be, to have that open conversation?" And it's scary, of course. It's scary. It's like, what if you say like, no? I'm like, and it went well. It went well. It's like, hey, what is enough? All right, like that's a definition. We're both kind of like engineering kind of people. So it's like, what is enough? What is the definition? How much is enough? And what kind of quality of life do you want?
Yeah.
Because eating out here in both Germany and Denmark is not like, it's just like any day of the week is like, is it twice a week? Is it once a month? That kind of conversation. Because it's like, yeah, we're living together, we're spending our time together. And also colleagues, I have conversation with colleagues like, how many coffee do you have out at the cafe every week? Because it adds up.
It does.
It adds up.
Yeah.
So and the hipster coffee here is like Starbucks level, like very like, it's not that kind of like $2, it's at least $6 in Denmark and Germany. I'm like, oh, how many cups do you have today? Why don't you have the free one in the office? That kind of conversation with colleagues, no matter it's men, women, and it's like, you want latte or just black coffee? So that was my reflection so far.
Yeah, and I'm curious. Don't answer. Don't answer here. It's for your reflection. I'm curious of that conversation and how it affected your relationship, because I'm curious because there was feelings of hesitation about the connectedness of the relationship in the money arena, in the financial arena. But I love the fact that you braved it through and got that conversation, and therefore created a safer relationship around finance and ultimately in your relationship.
Aww.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, thank you. I think it was a very important, even with colleagues, and I was like, hey, I care about you. Come.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Financial relationship with your other is not like how much you are, and having this competition is about how do we take care of each other. How do we stay connected to you? Because we're a team and we're doing the world, not the world doing us. And you're not, you're not my enemy.
Yeah.
How do we kind of use this resource to help us survive, not even survive, thrive. We want to thrive. We don't say survival is over.
Yeah.
Except for Ukraine and Russia at the moment. That's survival, right?
Oh yeah,
But,
that conversation.
so that's a different conversation altogether. But but how do we thrive with the money that we have?
Yeah.
And for me, like when I went to that personal management, money management workshop, I thrived after that because the same money was coming in, but I was managing it better. I had so much more in investments, and I realized like I don't need this. I don't need to spend it here, so I put it in investments. And I'm like, oh my, okay, I just need a little bit. I just feel like I want to do something because I've worked very hard. Okay, I'll take a little bit and put it there. But it was so much. How do we thrive? That's with ourselves.
I love that. I love that. The facts on how do we thrive, and also what I reflect on from our conversation in this space is the word to live my life by design. So I think
Love. Can I write that down?
Yeah, to live my life.
Repeat.
I think, right, we need to set up a session where all of us exchange notes, exchange questions.
To live my life by design rather than, living on survival mode or expectation, on the pre.
I think that was true for the baby boomers because it was just after the war, so we needed to survive, and all that. But I think we're far surpassed that right now, and I think we need to live by design.
Yeah, of course. Because what's interesting is that it's still in our subconscious mind, in the programming in the subconscious mind. Yeah, so we need to be conscious about it because all of us know that, our life is so precious. 30 years, 20 years, 5 years flew just like that. So that's why live your life by design. It's very worthwhile.
And spend the time to reflect. If it's drawing, if it's journaling, if it's talking to a friend, if it's just sit down for 45 minutes for a week, I don't know, whatever that works. For me, it really, really helped to say, what do you really, really want, right?
Yes.
How do I be instead of do?
Yeah, and then what do you deserve? It's not from that blueprint of survival mode. What do you really deserve? The standard of living that you deserve. So increase your deservability. Not settling for less anymore. You're not
worthy,
your life
being worthy.
Being worthy. And keep increasing your deservability. Reclaim that. You reclaim that. You deserve it. You deserve this. I deserve this.
I think we're
it
going to
makes
go on
me
forever, I think.
Forever.
It makes me curious. Does it occur for you, Sue? How much you're worth, your deservability? Because I know I personally struggle, right? Early days, right? It's always feeling the inferior to superior. Certain people, some is gender related, some is not gender related. There's this whole, like, I hate money relationship before I get to the fun part, right? So I wonder if you have.
I would say in the part of my life, right, I really, like I mentioned, live in the other people's script. I even in the scenario that work is just to get the income to circulate, and that's all. With what I mean is that I really have a few years, right, my objectives were very clear. Okay, I get a job which is stable, good pay, not much pressure. I don't need to go for increment. I need a good bonus and a okay increment, because good increments which mean I have a lot of work to do. So I did do that. Then the thing that the life is getting very boring. You like settle down. You don't have direction at all. You just do this, do that, day in, day out for.
So no
years.
Conversation about how much you're worth, your
no, nothing at all. Just like, okay, how much I get,
So
how much I'm going to
so that's
spend.
the narrative for survival mode.
It's like in a survival mode, or I don't say it's a give up. Maybe I put it as an enjoyment stage during the time, because I was suddenly in a stage of my life, right? I saw 3 heart attacks in a year, and 2 didn't make it. So it's made me like, oh, shocked, why we work so hard?
Oh, yeah.
Just do a moderate thing and enjoy life, is it? So to me, I don't like strive. I don't really strive for a lot of things. I don't strive for things. Just like a normal. Until after certain stage, I feel boring. I think, why not me? Like Sabah said, I have some impression or somewhere like she said, why not I design my life right? After I settled down for so many years, instead of following the script, I ask myself when I'm old or before I go, I ask myself, what if I do differently? Then why not I just do it now to experiment it out to see what is going to make a difference and decide out on what I want, what I'm expecting, on what I deserve to do or what I want to achieve, right?
Yeah, I can hear from Sue that desirability includes what fun you want to have, experience you want to accumulate through your life. The split second of our human life in this universe.
Sorry, you were saying?
No, this is a practice I've been trying to do. Well, no, I'm doing, and getting better at it, because I find that living in the past or living in the future causes a stress.
Yeah.
But being, the kids, the job, the finances, the this. So you're worrying about 2 or 3 steps ahead of you.
Yeah.
But just living in the moment, and just being like right now, I said, I'm here with you. And earlier on when we started, I'm here with you. I'm meeting you as I am. That's me telling me and me telling you that I'm present with you now and enjoying our conversation, because this is going to pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is going to pass, right? It's just be here and enjoy it. And my gosh, how much laughter and excitement and surprises and in this moment that we've had in 1.5 hours, and how much learning and sharing have we had. So it's really nice just to live in the present. I'm not thinking of, oh gosh, it's already 10 o'clock and I need to take my my vitamins and this, and I haven't taken out my laundry out of the dryer. I need to fold it for tomorrow. I mean, if my head is there, I can't be present with you and enjoy your presence, right? So that's all in the future that's going to be done. But right now, I'm enjoying you. So just living in the present. It is hard. It is hard. That's a practice.
It's practice.
That's a practice that needs to do every day.
I want to add on to it, Azah, because only present moment is real.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Already happened, future not yet happened. Only present moment is here.
Yes, that's why it's a gift.
That's why and it's like breathing. You have to breathe in and out.
Sabah, don't you know I can breathe for the past? No, I'm kidding, I can't. Anyway, that's a good point for us to look at the third reflection for today. Oops, there's a lag. Oops. Third reflection of the...
here we go.
So it's really like, being present, being in the moment, including everyone, right? I'm not saying everyone, but, there are certain people where we keep at certain boundaries and stuff like that. Supportive boundaries, right? So here's the thing, right? We're going to terbalik this, right? We're looking at closing very soon, right? So from today's conversation, instead of us sharing for our viewers, let's look back at ourselves instead, right? What are you personally taking back from today?
I'm going to steal Sabah's desirability, definitely.
You hear the team messing with us? Cricket.
I could hear like, what? Should I stop? No? So I'm going to take that with me and I'll start writing down a few things like, hey, what do you deserve? How would you like to live moment to moment? That's definitely my biggest takeaway.
Nice. Thank you. Sabah, Azah,
Sabah.
A lot of things actually. But
I just
the thing that... Pardon?
Okay, continue.
The thing that comes into my mind is design the next phase in my life. You know, the next phase, the next 5 years in my life. Yeah, the next 5 years in my life, and also allowing myself to be more vulnerable. And I love what Azah said. You know, it takes courage. Actually, it takes a lot of courage. But then it will inspire people. It just move and inspire people, because what I went through in my life experience, you know, may not be. I mean, that is unique for me. You know, yeah, we just could have one other human being to see hope, to have faith, to move forward in their life. Why not? Yeah. So
Nice.
that's for me.
Azah. Yeah.
Yes.
Gosh.
I have you.
I have don't. I feel today is an opportunity for me to send out the messages that I have lived or am living, because I take my own lessons and place it on myself and live that life too. So this is a validation for me, this session. And also I share with my clients during our counseling session, and also my close friends. And I'm hearing, and I appreciate, and I feel gratitude that I'm able to say the same messages that I live by, and I share with my friends and my clients here at this portion, at this little piece of time that's, you know, that we're staying in present. And I hope that, so I don't have children, and one of the things that I hope that I would leave this life, that I've moved someone, at least one person, and what I do hope for that person that's moved is to pay it forward.
Yep.
Just pay it forward and pay it forward and pay it forward, because sometimes it's hard for us to give back to the person that has helped us. They might not be there. They might be that in this little bit in our lives, but just bring that same feeling that you got from them and just pay it forward, and then it will have an exponential effect. And that's how we get inclusiveness and you know, going against the bias as well.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Okay. I might steal that too.
About you.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Don't mind anyway.
So actually, to me, I have a few things in my mind. Like when Sabah talked about live by design, life by design, I was thinking, are we living a design? We are the designer of our life, or we let someone to design for us? You cannot hear me.
Oh, now we can. Yes.
Okay. So I was thinking. So we are talking about life by design. I was thinking, are we living it as we are the designer for ourselves, or let someone to design for us? Which I mean, like in the structure, we worry about the label put on us. We worry about what people are going to say about us, and also sometimes we want to live up to the certain standard. We want to live because the society want man to be this, women to be this. So that is something. It's not something we make one night, right? So if by design, we should be our own designer, right? To live what we want.
Yeah.
This is not the house renovation. We need to get architect to do it for us.
And I think as we're designing, I think the thing is to be flexible and adjustable. As we design our lives, because we never know what lemons are about being thrown at you. And or what viruses might come over, or what war might come. You know, and all these things. So living life by design, yes, but also being flexible with as life comes to us.
Embrace impermanence. Embrace the lemons and whatever comes along.
I'm working on that one.
I have this saying, actually, while I'm designing my life, you know, I have a plan, but then in the moment, I just correct it until I collect the result.
Nice. Very nice.
Yes.
So it's correcting,
Right.
left, right, until I generate the result that I want
So-
as per design. Yeah.
You're correcting course. You're navigating
correcting
as you're
course.
correcting your
Navigating.
course. Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, got you.
Yes.
Everybody, we are driving a spaceship. We have navigation we need to take care of.
And if I can add a little bit more, if you find that navigating is hard, find a friend to navigate with you.
Yeah.
You be on the driver's seat and they will have the map to navigate with you. And that could be a friend, it could be a psychiatrist, could be a counselor, could be your mom, could be anybody that you feel safe with, just for that moment until you feel brave enough to take the map and drive yourself.
Yeah.
There you go.
Very, very
Well said.
beautiful,
That was
right?
fantastic.
And I just wanted to add in this part, a reminder plus also like one of my biggest take back for today is it's a lot of confirmation about getting back to who I am.
Yes.
Right. It's not an exclusive, it's an inclusive, right? Concurrent running as we plan for our life is also a practice, a constant practice to remind ourselves of who we are, getting back to our core, right? And the nicest confirmation is that it's okay. Right? It doesn't matter how I'm labeled as. It's like, yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Conversation have shifted. You see, even expectation have shifted. So it's like, oh, whatever. I'm just me. I'm gonna do me. Doesn't mean that I'm not gonna improve, right? So that's the beautiful thing, right? As I go back to me, I'm also designing me and my next phase. So it's just always progressive. That's
The
what
more
I.
you know about yourself,
Yeah.
the better relationships you have with others as well.
Yeah, that's the miracle, right?
It is.
Yeah.
That is the key. The more you know about yourself, the more you turn inwards and reflect.
Yeah.
The more you know the more you can identify toxic relationships, the more you can say no. The more you can put your boundaries down. The more that as you grow and your seasons change, so will your friends.
Yep.
You know, and people who will support you. So, you know, being flexible is
I said it. You just need to magnify who you choose to become.
Magnify.
To magnify that.
Love that.
Nice.
Cool.
Flourish.
Right? With that said, right, today is again another unconventional closing. We're just going to jump straight to like, okay, you know what? We have gotten so much value. I personally have gotten the value from this conversation. It just shows that we're always growing and learning from each other, right? Now, if our viewers, our Wowies wants to get in touch with you, how can they find you?
Let's start with Sabah.
Oh, yeah. They can find me at my personal Facebook, Sabariah Jusoh, you know, and also at _be wealthy. Yeah, there.
Now everybody is pointing down.
All right. Yeah.
You'll be fun. You suddenly
Oh,
put
my personal IG as well at Azah Jusoh.
Nice.
Nice.
Azah.
Yeah, so you just go to my namesake, azahyazmin.com. If you type in Azah Yazmin in Google, all my social media will come up. So LinkedIn, IG, what's the other one? Facebook, all of that will come up. But if you want to directly come and contact me, it's azahyazmin.com.
Okay.
Got you, Denise.
Yes, Sabah. Next, hey, Denise, I brought your whip. I'm very excited. How about you, Denise?
Yeah, look for me at denisetham.com. That's where I hang out sometimes. And you can always email me at denisetham@gmail.com. Very simple.
Nice. Right? Cool. And as usual, Siu, what do you want our viewers to do?
No, normally just typical. If one thing you want our viewer to do.
Yeah.
What you want our viewer to do?
What?
Just like our page, right? Follow our page. What else? We need something very
Throw your
simple.
kisses.
Right.
Yes, right? If today have touched you, have moved you, have inspired you, or even give you some points to reflect or create a certain reflection for you, support us by liking, support us by sharing it with your friends, okay? This help us grow, and we can have more conversation. And don't PM, put it in the comments so that it's obvious. Those of you who want these ladies, right, whichever combination, to have their show all about women's talk, inclusiveness talks, relationship, conversation, let us know, okay? What a way to corner the three of them.
Always get them back, right?
Right? Let us know in the comment.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, there. This is. Yeah. Remember to like. Next show. See you very quickly. Next show.
Next show, 23rd of March. I just noticed something.
What?
This is my wedding anniversary. Okay, my wife is likely not watching the show.
That's your anniversary. That's my birthday.
Wow!
Yes. Nearer to 50 again.
Nearer
to 50 again.
Nearer.
Nearer.
It's okay. Still nearer. It's
So
okay.
what is next?
Okay.
Next show
Okay.
is okay.
Above 50 is okay also.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I know. Next show you and your wife come and do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, our
Oh,
guest
yeah.
is not my wife. Okay, I try to arrange that.
Anyway, thank you so much, Huawei, for tuning in. Remember, join us on 23rd March, right, at 8:30 p.m. Remember, it's never too late or too early to start. The key is to begin your, in this case, not just your wealth journey, your relationship journey.
Actually, your relationship also your wealth.
Yeah. Your love journey, your support journey, whatever that journey is, begin it now.
Shall we say goodbye to our mommies?
Bye-bye,
Bye-bye,
mommies.
mommies.
Love you.